Hey guys, this is E with Scrapbooking with me, and today we are going to do Melina's challenge, the MS Scrap Buster challenge. Now, if you have a ton of scraps, this is great video for you to show you how to use up some of those little scraps. Now, mine don't look near as pretty as Melina's and some of you guys that I have seen on the Facebook group, but I'm using scraps and I'm making belly bands. That's what counts. You can either do all of your scraps in the same colors, or you can do a variety of colors like I have here. You can do some for fall, some for Christmas, whichever way you want to do it. I'm just using a piece of cardstock for the back, and let's get started on this. Now, I did not have, well, I take that back. I do have a square punch, and it's one just like Melina had, but it's an old Creative Memories, and that thing kills my wrist when I try to use it. So I did not use the punch. I just cut mine out. They're not exactly square. Some of them are longer, some of them are shorter, but that's okay with me. I'm not going to be that particular. But if you want to make all of yours the same size, you can just use a punch. So what we're going to do is just start laying these down at random. Now, I don't know about you, but I have a little bit of a problem when it comes to putting things down randomly. It seems like the more I try to put random, the less I put random, if you know what I mean. I think I could just kind of put glue on there and drop them from the top, and that might work better, because if I try to do things at random, mine usually doesn't turn out as great. But we're going to see. And like I said, I will use these in journals, and I'm not going to worry if mine hang off just a little bit. I didn't make these quite as wide as Melina did. I think mine are 1.75 inches. I can't remember what hers were, but it's okay. You can make your belly bands any width that you want, and I may have said length, but I meant width. But I'm just going to make mine like this. And these are just tiny little scraps that I had, and like I said, I just took my scissors and started chopping. I didn't. And see, it's like the more I try to do random, the harder it is. So we're just going to go up through here and lay some down. You can always trim off if you get them, over the edge like that, or so. But that's things that I am not going to worry about. What do we say? What do we say? Not going to worry about it. Nope. There's too many other things in this life to be concerned with that I'm just not going to let this bother me. I think Melina's was beautiful, but mine may not be that pretty, but mine will still be used in my journals. So don't worry if you don't think something that you're making is coming out looking like somebody else's. You don't want your work to look like somebody else's. You want your work to look like you. What you make and what you think is in your comfort zone, or even out of your comfort zone. But you do you. You don't try to do anybody else. Now, putting these on an angle is hard for me, because see, I want to go back in and fill in all of these little places here. That's my little OCD that I have. I don't have much, but I have a little bit. And you can see that piece right there is definitely not a square, but that's okay with me. It's all right. And you could make these more intentional, where they were just, squares all the way up through there. And we may do that in a minute on one or two. This is just me going at this. Okay. Now, this looks almost like a little patchwork quilt, doesn't it? And what I did on the other one is I just took some, let's see. I took a little piece of this pink, and I cut it, and this is not something you have to do. This is just me. I cut it in just some little bitty squares. Little bitty, and they're not even squares. And then anywhere I felt like that there was just an odd place, or something odd that didn't look quite right, I just put down one of those little pieces. Like I said, it is not necessary. You do not have to do that. That's just my little quirky thing here. See, I just feel like that right there just looked funny. And I know it may look even more funny to you with it, that little piece in there. But to me, it made it look different. I'm not going to say better. It just made it look a little different. And that's okay. Now what I did, even though I went over the edge, I just went through here and trimmed these off. Because, again, that's okay with me. It doesn't have to be exact. Not unless you want it to be exact, and then if you do, you can spend half a day on this, but I don't think I'm going to. Now, what she did after she did that is she took a little marker, and she took a brown marker, and I'm just going to use one of these black. This is a graphics line pen, and I'm going to make some little faux stitch marks and maybe some squiggles on some of these. Not going to try to make it too intentional, just some little lines here and there. And maybe some dot dot dash. Dot dot dash. Dot dot and maybe some dash. So just do some different things like that. And then here again. Now, I think Melina said if you're real enthusiastic, you can stitch around these. I'm not that enthusiastic. I don't have that much time, but that would be pretty if all these were stitched around, but they don't have to be. This is just faux stitching. And I'm doing it with a black pen. I think Melina did her squiggles with a brown pen. Any pen that you have that you want to use works fine. And then maybe on this one, I'll do a squiggle, 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 squiggle. Then you could do a little faux zigzag. And then on this one, I'm going to do just some little dots. Now you could take a lot more time with yours and make them look a lot neater. I am just going to town on it. Alright, we're going to do a dot dot dash again. Dot dot dash. Dot dot dash. Dot dot dash. Dot dot dash. I think those are cute, the dot dot dashes. And then here we'll do another squiggle squiggle. And let's do just a little faux stitch around this one. And let's see, let's do a zigzaggy, little faux zigzag around this one. There we go. So that is my little piece there. That's one of my belly bands. Alright, let's do another, and this one we'll try to do it a little bit more straight up, if you know what I mean. Now, I did ink around mine. You don't have to do that. That's not something you have to do. I just inked around mine because I liked that look. So on this one, we're going to start and put it down like a diamond shape right there. And I'm just using some regular art glitter glue. By the way, we have a good supply of art glitter glue right now if you want to stock up for winter time. You could do that. Let's see. Let's put this one maybe. We don't have the 4-ounce in. They still don't have the 4-ounce bottles, but we have the 8-ounce, the 2-ounce, and the 16-ounce if you want to grab some of those. Alright, let's do a pink, maybe. Now, as you can see, mine are not perfectly squared up. That one I might square a little bit more. But most of them, I just put them down. Then we'll do another like that. So we're just kind of going up the line. Let's do a darker one. Do a dark blue. So Brooklyn and Presley went home today. I was going to get Brooklyn to actually be out here and do some things with me while she was here, but they are homeschooling now, and I'm telling you, she has got a load. She's got, I think, 8 classes. So she just didn't have time, and after she finished with classes, we were both exhausted, so she didn't get to come out and do anything with me. Maybe later on when she kind of gets more in the groove, gets caught up on a few things. They didn't get to start when everybody else started homeschooling because their books were delayed, so they're having to play catch up now. So see, we're just going right straight up with this one this time. I know that this pattern is called something, and I can't remember the name of it. My mother made quilts like this one time. Now, if you have perfect square pieces, it's going to look even better. As you can see, mine are a little bit off because they're not completely square, but that's okay with me too. And this would be pretty with a zigzag stitch down the middle of it, and I may do that when I finish this. Let's see, that one will look okay. You could use your glue stick on this if you wanted to. I'm just using my art glitter glue. Let's see, I think I want a, what do I want now? Maybe a piece of this. Yeah. So a fantastic way to use up your scraps. Now I know Melina did do a journal card using this method. But her squares were true squares. So I don't know if a journal card would be in my future, because my squares are not squares. Mine are just cut. But we'll see what we can do with it. We can make a little patchwork looking journal card. Okay, I think on the end, nope, that looks too much like the background paper. What about if we put that? That'll work. I've got some that are actually 1-inch squares, but not many. And I know I could have cut them on my trimmer, but to cut a 1 by 1-inch square on your trimmer, it's not as easy, and it takes some time. So I just didn't do it. Okay. So there is that one. I like the looks of that. I don't mind that at all. I like these, but I like that. That, to me, that reminds me of a little quilt. So either one, whichever one is your taste, you do whichever one is you. So I'm just going to trim that little top piece off, and then I like to go around this and do a little bit of inking on the edge. And you could use a different color background if you wanted to. I just grabbed some of this paper because it was kind of strong. You could do a floral background or whatever on that. I'm going to run a little zigzag stitch right down the middle of that and see what it looks like. Now, I really like that. I like it. And I think I may go back and put some zigzag stitches down these too. I think that'll make them please me a little bit more. And I'm not saying that doing it this way is unpleasing to the eye. I'm just saying, for me, a little bit more, I guess, I don't know. I guess I just like that pattern a little bit more. But either way is fine. You can do them any way that you want. Now, I want to get a piece and try to do a journaling card. We'll just see what happens. So this is the paper that I have been using, and it's just some craft paper that we have. We sell this in the shop. And let's see. I think maybe a 4.5 by I think 5. So this is a 4.5 by 5 piece. That's a little bit big for a journaling card, but we may trim it down. Who knows? I'm going to leave it that way for now. Now what Melina did was went through and found pieces and just, put them together. But hers were all the same size. So mine is not going to work that way because I trimmed mine just willy-nilly. So what I think I might do is do that same pattern that we did on that belly band and see what happens, see what it looks like. I don't know, it may look okay and it may not, but we're going to try it. It's just paper, right? So I'm going to start right there. I'm going to run a little line down through there, and then on this one I need to also go across that a little bit. There we go, and let's see. I'm just trying to pick out the most square ones. The most square ones. No, I'm trying to pick out the ones that are the best squared up, or halfway squared up. Not that they are, but I think it would just look a little bit better if I do that. Don't need that one there. I need a different color. Let's do a black one, but we're going to have to trim him down some. So what have you guys been doing? What are you up to in your neck of the woods? We was just sitting here listening to Alicia and Benji talk about Colorado. That's where they just got back from. They said it's beautiful out there. I would love to go. But they were telling us some sights that they saw and how pretty it was. And that was really exciting. Listen to their stories. I loved it. Let's ink it. I don't know if this is going to work, but we're trying it, aren't we? Now that one needs to go there and there, I think. We're going to see. This may turn out to be a total flop, but oh well. It's nothing like giving it a try. Okay, let's see. Find another one that's kind of sort of a square. Oh, that one needs to be turned a little. Turned a little. So you can tell on the ones that I didn't get anywhere near square, you can kind of tell that they're a little bit out of line. So this one's going to need to be trimmed down just a tiny bit. But what a fun way to use up those little scraps that we all have. Now, some of these are digital and some of them are not. So I think you could use either. I'm not sure exactly if Melina used digitals or a little combination of both. But I think you could use either or. Alright, that one, I'm going to put one more row right there, I think. The hardest part of this is trying to pick the little squares up to me. Alright, so that's there. I have no idea if that's straight going across there. That doesn't matter to me either. That one's a little bit out of line, but we'll try to fix it when we put down the next one. Let's see. Oh, here's one with the flower on it. That'd be pretty. Oh, I put that butterfly upside down. Why didn't you tell me that? I don't know if I'll be able to take it up now or not. Well, it come up and it left some residue, but we're going to try to fix it and put it back down anyway. Don't want our butterfly flying upside down. Now, I think we can take our little tool and go over that and get some of that glue off of there. So we'll just leave it that way. Just make sure your little pieces, if you're going to do this, that they're kind of square. That helps out. Now you would think I am being quiet because I'm concentrating, but that's the furthest thing from the truth. I don't think there is any concentration on this kind of mess. Oh, me. Melina's going to say, Mother, don't do any more of my challenges, okay? You're not teaching people the right way. I think I might put one there. And then this may be a little piece that we just kind of discard. Kind of sort of looks like a little mess, but let's trim it down and see what we think. I'm just going to trim some of this brown off right to the edges. See what happens. We may come back and put a little piece here or there, but then again, we may not. I don't really mind that now that I've got some of that trimmed off. I do think I need something else right here on the side. And let's see. Need something, a color that I haven't used in a little while. I think we could do that. Put one right there. That might help out. That doesn't work. So what I'm going to do is trim this down a little bit more. It doesn't work doing that because that side is already a little bit off kilter, so it doesn't work that way. So that's what we got right there. And I don't mind that. You know what I think I'll do? I think I'll do a zigzag stitch around this and then put a little focal point on the top. And you can write on that on the back, so I'm not worried about that. So let me do a little zigzag around. Well, I tell you, I might want to put the focal point on before I zigzag. Let's try that. So what do we want to use for a focal point? I had all of these flowers that was cut out for me from one of you guys. So I may use some of these. That one's a little too matchy-matchy. See about a big butterfly. You know, it's hard for me to get to use these large butterflies because I really don't have a place to use them. Let's try a green one. Got a little green in that background there. Alright, let's try this one. Oh, that one I like. Okay, we're going to do that one. And I'm going to put a little bit of ink around it just to cover up any of that white. Some of it I have trimmed off, but I didn't get it all trimmed. And that'll just cover any of that white up. And then we'll glue this guy down. And that'll be a nice journaling card. I don't mind that. And we could even move him down a little bit. And I could come back in up here with a little word of some kind. Okay, this one I think I would like. It has got a little bit of that gold around it that's in the butterfly. And I'm just going to trim it off a little bit more. Don't want it quite that big. And we will put a little ink on this because we don't want it quite so white in the background. So just run in a little distress ink over it. Then we'll glue this down. Right, and there is a little patchwork journal card. And we can round the corners. Let's go ahead and do that, and then I'll stitch around it. Ooh, I don't know if I can't round them with that. Never mind, not with that one. Let's grab our chomper. Anytime you have something that won't round with your regular corner rounder, all you have to do is get your chomper. It will go through chipboard, so I know it'll round for you. There we go. I think that's cute. I don't mind. Thanks, Melina, for the idea. I know you didn't do one like this, but you know how your mother is. Now I'm going to stitch around this real quick and we'll see what this looks like. Okay, there is a sweet journaling card. I like that. And we use scraps. That's the good part about it. Okay, trim that string off. So there is that. Okay, I do want to use up quite a few of these scraps because you can see I've got a ton here. You can see in the side there. So I'm going to try something else with these scraps. I mean, I've got 3 belly bands done. I've got a journaling card. And I'm going to try one more thing. Now, this is something This is not exactly what I saw on Gail's channel and on Corey's channel, but this is something similar. And what they did is they just took scraps and went around the edges with the scraps. But I'm going to try going around the edges with these and see if that's going to, if it's going to work, if it's going to make it look okay. And I'm just going to put them kind of at a point maybe, since mine are not cut exactly straight. I think I might just go around like that and then cut them off on the outside. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. And I do want to ink these, so, I'm sorry that some of you may not want to watch me ink, but that's all part of the process if you like to ink. And I think ink will look better on here than not ink. So I'm going to ink, but anytime I'm inking quite a few, I'll definitely cut that part out so you don't have to watch that. Now, using these, I think I'm going to grab another piece of this paper. This is sticker back paper. And put it over here, and I'm going to use my glue stick because that's going to be a little bit quicker than trying to use my art glitter glue. And I'm not going to worry about having it inked perfect. I'm not going to worry about having it glued perfectly because I'll probably run a zigzag stitch around it as well. So I'm just going to glue partially. Let's see, I think I want the book page. And I first saw this on Corey's channel. And then I saw the other day, I was watching one of Gail's older videos, and I saw that she had done this too. And they did it with scraps. Which this is scraps, I know, but I mean they just tore scrap pieces and put it around through there. So this is going to be a little bit different, but it'll still be similar. Now, some of these that are really offline, I am cutting them down. And I'm just cutting them more to a square so that I can have that little point to come down here. But there again, it's not something that you have to do. It just helps when I'm trying to get that point. You could also just go around through here with some double-sided adhesive and put those down as well. And you wouldn't have to get your fingers all gluey. But mine are already gluey and inky anyway, so it really doesn't matter. I'm liking it so far. I like it so far. Oops. Press that down. You see, I get to the point where everything sticks to me and nothing sticks to the paper. That's how gluey I get. I don't know how people do this and don't get glue all over them. Is there a way? I don't know it if it is. Alright, I'm going to get my card so that I can start pressing some of these down a little bit better with my card. Then I don't necessarily get glue everywhere. Okay, I'm liking that. So then we're going to come down through here. That's not a scrap piece. That's not a scrap piece. How did you get in here? So let's start with, I think I want a piece of that blue. Where is the blue? Where are you, blue? There you go, right there. One piece of that blue to start off with, I think. Oh, let's see. See, I told you intentional, non-intentional is hard for me. Is that non-intentional? Is that the way that goes? I don't think so. Something is off. Okay, that's the way it would go. Right there. Okay. Then we'll come in with maybe one of these. Some of these I won't ink very much because you won't be able to tell whether they're inked or not. And I'm not going to come too far in because I don't want to take away all of my page here. But, okay, that glue stick is really beginning to get on my nerves because everything's sticking to me. So I'm going to go down through here with some tape. This is double-sided tape. And just put some double-sided adhesive down through there. I think Melina used this. just enough to hold. Like I said, I'm going to be stitching down through here anyway, but this will hold it until I can stitch. So what color do we want next? I have lots of colors, but nothing is popping up. There we go. That one right there. That's what I want. So I'm going to go ahead and close this guy up. And then this makes it easier anyway. Just stick it down. Oh, there's a good piece. This could be done in a real hurry if you didn't do any inking. Any inking at all. This, you could do this in no time, flat. Cute. I like that. Like I said, my daughter is going to say, Mother, please just don't even take part in my challenges anymore, because you're kind of way off the game. Okay, that's a smaller one, but it works. Put a piece of Tim Holtz paper there. So I'll put Melina's link below, and don't do like I do. Do like Melina does. You go over it and check hers out. She does a much better job at this than her mother does. Her mother just kind of does her own thing. Sometimes that's good and sometimes that's not so good, you know. Alright, let's put some adhesive down through here. And then we will start down that way. And you know, these pieces are going to go so good in our journal, and then have maybe on the back side, the back of the page, or somewhere else, one of those belly bands that matches up. Whoops, that's the same color. We don't want the same color on there. And what a way to use our scraps. Okay, that one there. And let's come in with maybe a little light color. And I'm not even trying to make sure that they're exactly even here. I'm just, you know, guessing at it, just eyeballing it. You know, that's how I do just about everything, is I eyeball it. Okay. Well, that's the same piece. Let's do this one. This one's a little small, but I think it will work if we position it right. Maybe. Yeah, there we go. Then we can come back in with this one maybe. Yeah, that'll work. Okay, now you could go all the way around this if you wanted to. I don't know. I might later. Right now, the only thing I think about when I think about going all the way around here is, at this point, this is going to need to fold. So it's going to have a very light paper right there, or it's going to have a paper that doesn't go over the spine part. So let's just go ahead on this side and do a line, and then when we get here we'll just cut that part off, because that's going to be in the spine part anyway. We're not gonna worry about it. Thank you guys so much for all of you who have already made purchases from our little store that's below the video. I really appreciate it. That just helps us out more than you know. And it's so sweet of you to buy things that we have designed. I really appreciate it. It's, you know, I'm not a great designer, but I like to put things like that on my shirts and on the tools that we use, and, you know, some of the words that we've been saying, things like that. So I think that's fun. But you guys have shown a lot of support, and I really appreciate it. We've got new products coming. Let's see. They will be up probably by the end of the week, maybe. I'm trying to think of the date that I can release those. I think by the end of the week we'll have some new products up. So make sure that you check back on the little store. You can just click on that link and go over and look at the different things. You don't have to make a purchase if you don't want to. Just go over there and look. Right now we have a few things, water bottles, and you know, we have our little pouches. There's a couple of different pouches and different colors and sayings and things. And then we have some shirts. And on the shirts, I did have someone who asked, you can change the size, the color of your shirt to whatever you want. The ones that I have on there is just, you know, what I chose to purchase mine with. It's just the color that I chose to purchase. But when you get on there, you'll see that you can, it gives you an option to choose your color and choose your size. So you're not stuck with the color that I chose. I just chose a blue one, and then I chose a red one. I thought the red would be good with, you know, Christmas coming up, that kind of thing. Now I'm just kind of going by these in the back and matching them up that way. That works for me. I love this. I may have to do more pages like this. And I can't wait till we trim it off to see what it actually looks like. Okay, let's see. Oh, those are two matchy. Maybe that one. And we also had new product come in yesterday. We have more in today. I just haven't had a chance to get it in the store. But I know a lot of you have already purchased the new product. Appreciate that. We had more of the washi stickers come in. Oh, I can't think of everything now. My mind just went blank. But there's lots of new product in. So you can go over and check that out if you'd want. Yeah, this is fun. And look at all the scraps I have used. My. I have used a ton. That's not the one I wanted to pick up. This one. Oh, I'm going to have to turn that back around. Why did I turn it for? I can't see what I'm doing. Okay. Let's just put that one right at the corner. That'll be alright right there. And then, let's see. Yeah, I do have sticky there. I have almost used all of these that I cut up, and I cut a ton of them up. I'm not even going to ink that because it's so dark it doesn't show the ink anyway. Let's see. Let's try one of these. This is just an old book, a page out of an old book. And I think that'll work right there. And then, let's see, one more piece looks like. Maybe this one. And this is even kind of jagged on one edge, and I don't care about that either. That'll work. Okay. I am loving it. Look at that. Now it makes me not want to cut off the edges. But I need to. I need to cut the edge. I need to cut the edges because it'd be way too wide if I don't. Alright, what I'm going to do first before I start trimming these, just so that it'll hold them down, is I'm going to go all the way around here and do a little zigzag stitch. And then I will come back and trim these down, and we'll see what it looks like. I may take a good picture of this before I trim it down, though, just so that we can see. I know right here this piece will have to be cut out because that is where that spine comes across. So let me stitch this real quick. Okay, I managed to stitch around part of it, but my sewing machine decided to just lay down and die on me. I don't know what's the deal. But I need to take some parts off of it and work on it a little bit. So I got all of this stitched, and then here it started kind of messing up, and then it messed up here. So I stopped because I think it's got some old thread and things hung down in it under the bobbin. So I'll need to take some parts off of it and clean all of that out. I hadn't done that in a while anyway, so it's probably time for it. I guess it just decided to say, you don't clean me out, I'm quitting, lady. So we got this much so that we could look at it anyway. Look at that. I love that. Don't look at that where it missed a stitch there. Look at this side. This side's good. And now what I'm going to do, and like I said, I don't know if I do another one, I may move them on in and just not trim that off. I don't know. I don't know if I will or not. We'll see. So I'm going to trim now and see what this looks like after I get it trimmed. I'm going to flip it over and trim it. That way, well, number one, I can see where I'm trimming, and two, we won't know what it looks like until we flip it back over. Some of these little pieces are tough. And I'm sure I need to clean my needle too, because I actually started stitching on this before my glue got completely dry. So that's a no-no. But I was anxious to see what was going on. So I just need to take some alcohol and clean my needle off. So be a little bit more patient than me, but then the page, I think, is going to turn out great. And you could save these pieces that we're cutting off here and use those if you wanted to. I'm not going to, but you could definitely do that. Okay, one little piece right there. Hey, alright, I'm holding it over so I can't see it until I hold it in front. Oh, look at that! I love that. Oh my goodness. I love that. Now see, there's all of these need stitching, and I'll stitch those down. But these, you just put that little bit of glue under them, and then you stitch on top so you don't have to worry about them coming up. But look at that. I love it. Okay. I love it. I think I'll do plenty more like this. These will look really good in your journal, and you still got tons of room to journal on or put something else on if you want. Yes, I do. I like that a lot. Let me bring everything back out that we made. I'm going to pull those little guys right there because we're going to make some more pages with those. We've got a page, a journal card. Look at those together. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? So page, a journal card, and then 3 belly bands. Let's put that like that. 3 belly bands. So isn't that neat? I love it. Thank you, Melina, for the idea. Love, love, love it. And I will definitely I think I'm going to have to buy me a good square punch now so that I can use it and it doesn't hurt my hand. Or, this is another idea. I have a Cricut. I could just cut out a bunch of squares from my Cricut and then use them on here. But look, I've got this many now that I can use. So these will go in a little bag, and we'll use those to make more pages and more journaling cards with. Alright guys, that is it for this tutorial. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, please give us a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button, and don't forget to click that little bell if you want to be notified when we put up a new video. Go over and check Melina's video out. I will link it below. Just click on it and go over and check her video out. She gives a much better description of how to do these than I do. But we will talk to you guys later. Thanks so much. Bye bye.